Okay, Chevra, we are learning the Sefer Pituchei Chotam from Rabi Yakov. It is Pashas Vaeschanan, and there is a lot of Kabbalah in this week's Parsha. Rabbi Yakov is revealing and teaching, and I'll be honest with you, it was a lot. So Baruch Hashem, I found a piece that I feel comfortable sharing with you, and here we go. Vaeschanan el Hashem ba'isa hileimar. So Moshe Rabbeinu here, he says that I daven to Hashem at this time. He says, Hashem Aleichem, you began to show me your godlecha, your greatness, and your chazaka, and your strength. Asher mikel b'ashamayim v'aretz, who is like you, a God in heaven and earth? Asher yasachem asachu greisecha, that can do such wonderful things. Erbren, and then he comes for a tefila. He says, Erbren of eretz aretz, please let me cross over and to see this great land. Asher be'ever hayarden, hahar hatoiv hazev halvanon, let me come into Eretz Yisrael. So the Zohar teaches us, says Rabi Yakov, that from these psukim, we see Moshe davening, we have to learn how to daven. Moshe is coming and telling us, I'm going to show you how I daven, and this way you can learn how to daven. So let's begin. The Mishnah Pergavis tells us, when you daven, al tas tefillah keva. Don't make your tefillah keva. Don't make it routine, set. Elarachem v'tachanunim. There needs to be, you got to beg. It's got to be rachem v'tachanunim l'fnei hamakom baruch before Hashem. Says Rabbi Yakov, this is the first thing Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us, because it doesn't say v'espal el Hashem. He says Vaeschanan el Hashem, a lashon of techina, of supplication. The first thing Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us in his tefila is that it cannot be keva, it can't be routine. Vaeschanan, number one. Vaeschanan is the gematria 515, which is the same gematria as tefila, so we know it's a tefila, but it's a type of tefila called techina. The second nekuda is that the way Moshe prayed, the way he was mischani, the way he supplicated, was through Shira. Shira is also gematria 515. So the Zohar, and I think it's later, either Parshas Hazino or Vayelach, Rabbi Yakov quotes the Zohar and he says, like the Zohar says, wants to know, why does it say Va'ata kisvu lachem es hashira hazes? And the way Rabi Yakov understands the question is, why is it in the feminine shira as opposed to shir? So Amr Yitzchak shira vadei. Mashira is mashcha beruach hakodesh me'ela l'sata. Uvhachi milin eilin is mashcha beruach hakodesh me'ela l'sata. Uvegin kach Amar Moshe shira. So Rabbi Yakov explains. You see, the way Moshe Rabbeinu davened, it wasn't like that. He was looking to ascend from the lower worlds up into the higher worlds, and then to descend from the higher worlds to the lower worlds. And he says, and that's what the Shechina does, and that's why it's in the feminine. The Shira is because it's similar to the Shechina, which is feminine. It rises up and brings down. Our tefillas need to, this is what they accomplish. When we come and we put in our part, we are bringing things up, and that allows the bracha to come down. Shira goes like that also. A song is not, there's excitement, there's up and down, high notes, low notes. That's the way tefillah needs to be. It's got to be b'derech shira, and it has to affect what a shira can affect, to bring things up and to allow things to come down. That's how tefillah works. It needs to be similar to a song, says Rabi Yakov. The word ba'es. Now we say ba'es, Ashkenazim, the samach, the saf or tuf. Those sounds come from the front of the mouth, and there's a klal that the way words are the letters that are pronounced with a similar usage of your mouth and tongue are interchangeable. They're oisius mischalfis. They can be switched. The letter tuf or saf can be switched with a dalid. Dalid, tuf. Same placement of the tongue. And therefore the word ba'es is actually the letters Eved. And this is a third idea that Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us. And that is that we need to approach our tefillah HaKadosh Baruch Hu as an Eved, as a servant standing before his master. A fourth idea from Ba'isa Hilemar. This is the Rashi Tevis. That means the first letter of each word of Ba'is Hahilemar is Halev. And in this word, in this phrase, which is talking about Lamer, what Moshe's tefillah actually was, what he actually says, is hinted Halev. That means our words and our focus, our mind, needs to be in the same place when we daven. Much easier said than done. But to actually think about the words that we're saying as opposed to thinking about other things when we say the words. And this is the meaning we say at the end of davening. Yihu l'ratzein imrei fi v'hegein libi lefanecha. That the words of my mouth and the thoughts of my heart, my mind should be before you. And they should really be the same. Halev, b'leimar. What we're thinking about and what we're saying should be the same. Now we begin tefillah. What's our beginning of tefillah? And this is Moshe begins his tefillah and he says Hashem Aleichem, and he uses the word Adnos, and that's the way we start every tefillah is with the word Hashem Svasei Tiftach, but in the lashon of Adnos. Why is that? We begin our tefillah the same way Moshe began his tefillah, with this shame of Aleph Daled Nun Yud. Now the shame of Aleph Daled Nun Yud is in terms of spheres, every shame of Hashem is most expressed in a different one of the spheres. The sphere of Malchus, which is also called Shara Shamayim, is the shame of Adnos. And therefore, when we begin our tefillah, we begin with the sphere of Malchus is known as Shar HaShamayim, the gate to Shemayim. So when we begin davening, we're standing at the gate. The Miloi, that's taking every letter of the shame and spelling it out and getting the gematria of the whole thing, is Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud, spelled out Aleph, Lamed, Fei, V'chulei, is 679. The Aramaic word for gate, or shar in Hebrew, is Ta'ara, the gematria of 671. So when we say the word Hashem Svasei Tiftach, as Moshe Rabbeinu began his tefillah with the shame of Adnos, we're opening the gate of Shar Shemayim, we're opening the gate of Shemayim. The shame Adnos itself equals 65, which means Heichel, means we're standing now in the Heichel, in the sanctuary of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so to speak, and we're beginning our tefillah. Moshe continues and he says Hashem Elokim. And now this is strange because the word itself is written Yud Kei Vav Kei, but it's pronounced Elokim. And Rabi Yakov says this is the focus of tefillah, is to be miyachid, is to unify the Shem Havaya with the Shem Elokim. In other words, says Rabi Yakov, that means to take sparks of holiness, the Nitzotzei Kedusha, and elevate them from the lower worlds to the upper worlds. That's what tefillah is. We're davening for mundane things, but we're davening to Hashem. We're taking all the mundane things of this world and we're elevating them to Avodas Hashem. And that is what allows, when there's a yichud of Elikim, of the lower worlds, with Havai, with the upper worlds, that creates a shefa, the ability for the all to bring down the shefa from Shemayim. Moshe says, Ata chiloisa, you began lahari, says avdecha, to show your eved. So the Gemara in Brachas tells us that Rishonis, the first brachas when you daven, you're supposed to be daimel le'eved shemisader shvach lifnei rabbi, like a servant that is offering shvach to his rabbi. And therefore Moshe begins his tefillah stressing, avdecha, your servant. The middle brachas are there to like someone who's asking for something. And the last brachas is like an eved who received what he asked from his master and he leaves. So Moshe begins with eved and he says the shvach, the first three brachas. Gadlacha, your greatness, that's gedula, that's chesed, that's Avram Avinu, that's the first bracha of Avos, Magen Avram. Yara chazaka, is the second bracha, is Gevura. He says Gevura, it's Geshamim. That talks about Tchias HaMesim, that's Yitzchak Avenu, that's Gevura. L'chayim Mesim. The third bracha is Asher Mi Kel B'Shamayim U'Va'aretz. Shamayim and Aretz. The third bracha is Ata Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim B'Chol Yom Haluchasal. That's a reference to Yaakov Avinu and the Shvatim that praise your name. That praise your name. Shamayim V'Aretz is a reference to the bracha Ata Kadosh Shamayim V'Shimcha Kadosh, and your expression in the world is Aretz. And we ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu through Moshe asks through his tefila, in his tefila, Ebrana. Ve'era es ha'aretz ha'teva shebe'ever ha'yarden. That's the middle brachas. And then he moves into the last brachas. So Moshe Rabbeinu is teaching us how to pray. And yet Rabi Yakov is being ramis to us in this amazing tefillah, what it takes, and to take something from this, to make our davening different, to put our mind where our mouth is, and to say that word Hashem Svasei Tiftach, and all realize we're opening up the gates of Shemayim. We should have a chizuk in all of our tefillahs and a wonderful Shabbos.